What's up everybody, SK here, of course with SK Lifestyle, and I appreciate you joining me once again on this kind of installment, I guess, for jet ski problems. Yeah, that's right. Last year at the lake on one of our most favorite vacations, I came across some real problems. So if you're following this, you already know. If you haven't, quick recap. The jet ski sank up at the lake. I tried to get it back running. And so this is where I'm going through the video now. I just want to go through the mistakes I made while I was at the lake with the jet ski and all that. What I found, what the dealership found, what the insurance company said, and how everything came out in the end, what the result was, my final feelings. And note, the insurance piece, I will be touching on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a video specifically on that whole process and everything by itself, in and of itself, because I feel like it's definitely going to be helpful to all of you out there that have boating insurance, jet ski insurance, you know, that kind of stuff, or may have it in the future if you're just shopping for, you know, a watercraft now or something. So all that said, yeah, let's just jump right into it, SK Lifestyle. Issues that I made. Obviously the jet ski sank. Leading up to that, I went out for a quick ride before the storm came. What did I not do? I didn't check my plugs right away. Now, I say that because first year that I've had a lake house where we've had the jet ski there the whole time out on the water. Usually I'm, you know, it's by the dock. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess last year too was at the dock all year at the family's house. But it was just the first time like me there, you know, with the ski. So I'm just thinking, you know, it's been on the mooring, nothing has happened to it, so it should be fine. Mistake. Always check your plugs. Somebody commented, and he was right. He's okay to call me out. He was nice with it, but he called me out, and that's fine. And be sure to leave those comments. SK will always get back to you. You don't have to be nice, but just don't be extremely mean. You know, if your comment isn't in the positive, that's all right. I'm a grown man. I could take it a little bit. So, but he did call it out, and that's true. So I didn't check my plugs right away. That would have really helped. Okay, so I didn't check it. I'm out on the water, I'm driving, I'm having fun. All of a sudden I'm bobbing, and then I notice like it's bobbing too hard and it's taking on water.
Hey, and don't forget, be sure you subscribe to SK Lifestyle. Yeah, that's right. You just want to hit that subscribe button right there and that notification bell.
I wanted to get back to the lake house and just know that the ski was there for the rest of the vacation. And it was a good idea, and I did make it, like I just said, all the way back up until the point where, you know, it tipped me over right in front of it, but whatever. But I was closer to land from where I was if I just went to the New York side of the lake. It would have been a couple hundred yards rather than a couple miles. I could have also made it back to the Vermont side where a lot of the family stays at different points. I drove, you know, I didn't go down the middle of the lake. I drove towards Vermont the whole way, but towards my cabin. So that way, if at any point I did have catastrophic problems, I could just immediately cut fully to land and go right there. But if I had done that and I got to somebody's dock or something and tied up real quick or off the shore and pulled it up, I could have checked my plugs right away because, you know, I looked around, I didn't see any smoke. I obviously didn't hit anything. I was out there by myself. So I immediately thought that there was some kind of internal problem or something. You know, there was a crack or, you know, something was happening. And so I just needed to get the boat where we could definitely take care of it. I should have, and I didn't. The other problem is last year, my jet ski died because the battery stopped working. Me, you know, bobbing harder in the water is nothing to do with the battery. But I'm just trying to give you all the details and understanding. So yeah, so we're out there. What I should have done was cut the engine, jumped off, checked the plugs right away. And if the plugs were out the way that they were actually unscrewed, then I could have screwed them back in. Now, yes, I feel it coming. Yes, there should be a auto check in there, not auto check, whatever, like a check valve in there. So it should only be water going one way. That is right. I can't remember what video, but one of my initial videos, actually it might be my first Sea-Doo review of the GTI 155 SE 2017, by the way. Miss her so much. Check out the video. But somebody commented on that video, and when I was talking about the valves, I think I mentioned it in that video, but basically that I heard, or I can't remember how it came about, but the discussion that the valves on these Sea-Doos do wear down over time. And I even mentioned it in that video. SK fail for not remembering, 6-7 years later. But I even said, if the worst thing that happens with this jet ski is that the valves fail, then I'm fine with it, because everything else is great about it and there's no maintenance and da-da-da-da-da. And yes, all true. Well, maybe SK didn't mean that so much, because I really think what happened was maybe somebody pulled the plugs and didn't really know a lot about jet skis and didn't know some of the newer ones like mine should have had a check valve. I think somebody was out kayaking, couple of teenagers or something, and just pulled them, wanted to be funny. Thought there would be a storm coming and just thought they might get to see my jet ski like on the mooring half sunk or something. Hopefully they didn't have the mindset that I was actually going to ride and might actually be in physical harm. I'm just going to kind of keep the mindset that they were thinking the former and not the latter, just, for feeling better about humanity. But yes, long story short, the point is that situation may very well have happened, because when I got back to shore after I tipped over and I swam and I dragged the jet ski to shore and I checked the valve, the plugs at that point, I immediately am like, eyes wide open, and I'm like, both of them are out. Now, I have never once in my entire ownership of this jet ski, Sea-Doo, for all of you that are being mad, I'm a Sea-Doo lover, but it's like Kleenex, it's jet ski. I've never once had one come loose, not even wiggle, let alone come off. The only time they have ever come off is 3 times when I've taken them off to spray down and wash really thoroughly the inside of the hull, and I have enough water in there I can tip the front of it and let it drain out, right? So for both of them to not even be loose, but they were hanging down by the threads, I immediately thought somebody tried to sabotage me. Now, the check valve should have helped that, but if the check valve wore out, then SK is SOL, right? Clearly. So, one other failure is for me not to check on my valves after so many years. Another little thing, couldn't have done it at the moment, but it's definitely something to think about, and definitely something that you can do at the beginning of every year. I'm definitely going to be putting it in my regiment when I get another jet ski. So those are some errors that I made. Now, I really can't say too much after that, because I did everything I could. I changed the oil, I pumped it all out, I put new plugs in, you know what I mean? I checked the air box, all this kind of stuff, the battery, all this, and then try to get it back up and running. So as you heard me discuss as I went through, and clearly you may have seen the other videos. If not, I have tried to get it back running. Here's a quick video of me just by the lake house. So yeah, so I'm trying, then I get down by the river and no luck. Well, I had luck, it started up or whatever, but you can tell it's not running properly. And that's what I meant. The way it's running at this moment, now that it sucked up all that water and had those problems, is different up until the moment it was running and stopped, right? Now that I'm trying to run it, it's obviously not working. It actually started taking on water. And this time, I think it was different because obviously the valves were closed. So it was like taking on a little bit of water, and so there was some problems. All right, so I get the jet ski back home, right? Bring it to the dealership, of course, because I want to see what they have to say, if they can fix it. Obviously, I have insurance. I had Progressive Insurance, so I had to follow up and do what was needed for that claim, right? So the dealership's trying to check it out. They're looking through. I'll leave some of this for the insurance video, so I won't get back into the back and forth. Long story short, what did the dealership find? Well, they did find that there was water intrusion because they wanted to know that, for the insurance part. So there was water intrusion. They found it in the exhaust. It got up into the valves. So there was corrosion in there and so forth. And I believe that was from potentially the second round after trying to start it back up and putting it back in the water. But, I think some water, obviously, intrusion once it started to sink was the problem as well, like some damage. But I'm kind of rattling. So anyway, the other thing they found was the bearing, the rod bearing inside was damaged. And that basically meant that, you're going to need a whole complete engine rebuild. but pretty much. You know, I'm sure some people would chime in and say exactly how, but for the layman, you basically need to rebuild the engine. The other thing is, side note for me is like, yeah, once you hear that, as much as I love to ski, you're just kind of nervous. Like, all right, what if I rebuild it? It's just never the same. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that's what they said. They didn't find that there was like any kind of, you know, physical damage. You know what I mean? That caused it. It wasn't like I hit something or something like that. You know, it really wasn't. They tried the best of their abilities because obviously the insurance company is asking like to determine if, you know, something that I did or not. And clearly said like, no, just obviously if the water was inside the hull, which happened from the valves. So basically because the water went in or whatever, that's what, you know, ended up seeping into the engine once it got over the top of the valve cover. I mean, there was hundreds of pounds of water, I'd imagine. So they found that out. The insurance company went back and forth and so forth. A long story short, I will say that the insurance company in the end ended up paying out the claim in full. And yeah, so that's where you'll also see my goodbye video to the do, which I'll give you a quick clip now. Yeah, and I hear it in myself. Just hear myself have, like, I can hear it. And it just brings it back now. It does hurt. I'll say that's one thing you don't really, maybe not a lot of people. I mean, I think for some people, things are just things. And for the most part, it is for me. I mean, I take care of my stuff. I have pride in the stuff I have. But it's not like, you know, if I crack this snowboard, I'm a little upset I got to pay or something. But I don't have deep attachment to every little personal possession. Yeah, it was an expensive item and stuff. But in so many respects, it was such a unique thing. I've always wanted a jet ski. It was the first thing I bought brand new like that. That was so expensive. We've had so many vacations and special weekends and just moments that helped build the channel. So it really has meant a lot to me. And I mean, yeah, whoever did that to me, there's obviously I came in at the beginning of it saying some of the things I could have done, but whoever did that to me, I feel bad for them, honestly, because I don't know, doing that to other people and just destroying their property and potentially harming them is not cool in the least bit. I don't think I need to go into that more. But yeah, I just feel bad for people that do that to other people, and I feel a little bad for myself. You know, obviously the motto is Carpe Diem, be thankful, strive to be happy. So I'm glad I have the motto. I work with it. It's not like every day I just sit there and drag down by the fact that jet ski's gone. It's been months now. I'm pretty used to it. But yeah, I mean, you have to be real with yourself and how you feel and things. And it's definitely something that stings. And honestly, has made it a little difficult to even think about getting another jet ski. I've thought about it. I've looked a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, I don't know. You know what I mean? I really like jet skis. I really want another one. But at the same time, for some reason, it's hard to let go of the fact that mine's gone. And especially the way that it came. It's not like I finally decided like, all right, time to bump up, you know, get some more horsepower. You know, I've put so many hours on this machine. She's done me well. Let's hand her over to another family that will enjoy it. No, it just ended on such a bizarre, sour note too. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. And where it landed, obviously they paid out. Like I just said, I don't have another jet ski at the moment. The season is coming up and so forth. I'll just say, be sure to subscribe so you can catch what happens, how things turn out. I will interject a little bit, give you a little clue. Right now, you know, kind of thinking about getting a boat. We've talked about wanting one before, and especially with having the lake houses and stuff and doing the kind of vacations, like it'll be good. Either way, if we get a boat, it's never. Don't get me wrong, everybody, guys and girls. It's not like SK is not going to get another ski. I'll get another ski. I'm just not absolutely sure if it's going to happen for this 2023 season or potentially wait till 2024. The other thing is, the position we're in, like we want it. Same thing with a boat, but we're not going to go get a bad deal. The way the markets have been and everything, I'm not so desperate that I'm just going to pay crazy over asking price and just be upset with a purchase. So, you know, that's a big part of it too. But yeah, that said, haven't got another ski, kind of want one. It's hard to kind of look for them. Yeah, leave those comments down below. Do I sound like blabbering buffoon? Like, is it just silly what I'm saying? Have you had similar situations? What other things do you think that I did wrong? Again, don't be nasty, but feel free to call it out. That's fine. I want to help everybody out there. So if you're right, you're right. And I'm down to have a conversation. It's perfectly fine with me. So I appreciate your time. Hopefully this video didn't run too long. Yeah, I think it ran a little long, but that's all right. It's been a long time coming. I had a lot to get off my chest. Like I said, stay tuned. I will try to do that insurance video. I'll probably get into a few more details. I might even bust out like the sheets that were given to me from the dealership, from the insurance company, and so forth. Even go over a few notes. Trust me, I wrote tons of notes. So stay tuned, subscribe. Like I said, hit that like button as well. If you appreciate this video, let everybody know, and also helps the algorithm bump up these videos so I can stay better in the picture for all of you. So I appreciate your time. See y'all later.